All right, guys, we're here with Loic Duval, driver of the Oreca Team Matmut Peugeot 908. Welcome to Oversteer TV.
Thank you. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. I asked you before, I'm going to ask you again. You all recovered? It's 24 hours is a grueling race.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's always tough. It's difficult physically, mentally, but after 2 days, you can sleep a bit, and yeah, it's getting better now.
Um, you finished in fifth place. Your team finished in fifth place, the best of the non-factory teams. Are you happy?
Yeah, I mean, actually, this is the best result we could have done. Just behind the official cars. So we had 6 official cars at the start of the race. Two already stopped during the race because of the crashes, and we finished fifth. That was the best result we could have done. Unfortunately, it was not easy to finish fifth because we got some small trouble during the race. But at the end, it's the best position was possible. So we are pretty happy with the result.
Um, you, your team won Sebring. You came in fifth here at the 24 Hours Le Mans. I think it's pretty safe to say that you guys are the top team once you take away the factories.
Yeah, I mean, Oreca is definitely a great team, really professional. They are really good mechanics, engineers, and we are working pretty well together. So yeah, definitely it's probably one. I'm not gonna say the top team because there is many good teams around, but it's probably one of the best, definitely.
Right. Um, you guys coming into 24 Hours Le Mans, you know you're going up against the factory teams. Do you go in thinking we're going to push the factory teams and try to snatch a victory out of it, or are you just going in saying, well, let the factory guys, let the Audi and Peugeot run their own race, and we're going to take care of ourselves?
I mean, in my case, and I think it's the same for the team and my teammates. I mean, we are racing for. I mean, we want to win races. That's what we want to do. After that, we knew from the beginning that our car was not competitive enough to repeat what we did last year. I mean, to be exactly on the same pace as the official cars. But we knew, and when we saw Sebring, and we knew that was maybe possible to do something. Winning the race, it was of course really difficult. But maybe a podium, if Audi and Peugeot got some troubles, was possible. Unfortunately for us, Audi and Peugeot did really really good race. They were really competitive, really quick, without any trouble on the car. So at the end, we are definitely in our position to finish fifth, and this is the best we could have done. But of course, we are a little bit disappointed because we are racing for winning races and not for finishing fifth.
This year, I seem to notice that there are a lot more high speed, accidents going off the track and everything than before. Is it just the nature of the cars just getting faster, or is just one of those things just happened to be coincidence this year?
No, this is the kind of things that can happen. I mean, we know that Le Mans is between amateur and professional. Unfortunately, this year, I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I think was it's normal to have amateur. This is really part of the race. But sure, it was some driver really slow, and I'm sure they were even afraid sometimes with the traffic, and when they see cars arriving really high speed on the mirror and everything, I'm sure they are afraid. But I think there is some amateur who are, unfortunately, they have nothing to do in Le Mans. There is some amateur who are good enough to drive in Le Mans. There is some amateur that just come for one race doing Le Mans. It's really high speed cars, high speed track, and unfortunately, I mean, I think they should have tested and they should have raced before, and not coming only for one race in Le Mans. So it was few cars with few drivers, not a lot, but just a little bit. But unfortunately, when we see the speed difference between the GT cars, the LMP1 cars, and when the traffic, this can happen. And when you see, especially the second crash, because to be honest, for me, the first crash with Alan McNish, I think it's really a race incident. McNish was maybe a little bit optimistic, and the GT car maybe didn't see him. So I mean, I would say this is a race incident. When you see the second one between Rockefeller and the Ferrari, You can see that the Ferrari doesn't keep the line, and even if Rockefeller was flashing him on the straight line, the guy didn't see him, and this is not acceptable when you see. I mean, could have been really a really bad day. I mean, if Rockefeller, I mean, you know that this guy could have died in this accident, so this is a little bit too much.
Do you think with the slower cars out there, will you in particular, are you more careful because of those guys out there, and you think it affects your times on your lap times, or you
Of
just go
course.
for it?
No, of course. I mean, Le Mans is part of traffic, so you know that sometimes you have to slow down, you have to wait and overtake. This is really part of Le Mans, and this is normal. Even with only professional drivers, when you see the speed difference between the LMP1 and the GT, this is really part of Le Mans, and this is normal. The only problem is that you have to make sure that you keep your line and you keep the racing line, and you have to make sure also. I mean, when we see, for me, I mean, when I'm fighting in the traffic, and when you see the BMW drivers, they are all professional. The Corvette drivers, they are all professional. There is never problem with them. I mean, they are always on the same line, and you can be sure that you can overtake. There is some cars that you know that maybe something can happen, and you have to be careful with that. But unfortunately, when it's 11 or 12 p.m., you cannot see which car is in front of you. If it's the pure amateur one, or if it's GT with professional drivers, and sometimes problem happen.
No, well, I agree with you on that. There were some drivers out there. I was like, what are they doing out there? So what's next for Loic? What races do you have coming up?
Actually, I'm, just after the interview, in a few minutes, I'm leaving to the airport. I'm going to Kuala Lumpur. We have a race with the Super GT, Japan Super GT. So I'm gonna meet my friend at the airport, Benoit Treluyer and André Lotterer, who won the race this weekend, and we're gonna race each other in Kuala Lumpur.
Wow. Man, it sucks to be you. LeMans now going over to Asia to race and everything. Yeah, I love the smile, man. You're enjoying life right now.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, sure.
Um, during the broadcast, they were talking about that there's rumors out there that you might be moving up next year to the factory Peugeot team. Any truth to that?
I mean, it's, everything can happen in the future. I mean, obviously, I'd like to find a seat with a car manufacturer. That's, I mean, of course, this is what every driver wants. And of course, there is discussion, but not only with Peugeot. There is many teams and opportunities. So we will see in the future. But I definitely want to do Le Mans to win Le Mans, not finishing fifth. So we will see what's going on in the future.
Well, I would love to see you in one of the factory teams. I think you're one of the true talents out there.
Sure.
You deserve a seat in one of the factory teams. Good luck in Malaysia with the Japan series. You're going to be running in the Petit Le Mans in Road Atlanta, right?
Hopefully, yes, yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I'll be meeting you in person up there because I'll be going to that. So,
We'll see
all right.
there.
Okay. I want to thank you again, Loic Duval. Oversteer TV thanks you and hope to hear from you soon.
Thanks to you. See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.